Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I believe you enjoyed your weekend. Today going to bring in a new concept. So in here we are going to learn about the three tools in Alteryx. The first one is the summarize tool. We have the cross tab tool, and lastly the transpose tool. So what the three tools does in Alteryx, or the transformation it brings in our data. Now, what I want us to look at in the summarize tool, and for this summarize tool I'm gonna use this file here. So I'm going to open it. So this is the data set I'm working with. This is the first time I'm using this data set here. So in here we have the record ID, the store, department, weekly sales, is holiday, date, year, month, and the month name. So we're going to use this data, or we're going to apply the three tools onto this data to see how it works. Okay, so I'm going to open a new canvas. Then I bring in, so I'm going to drag and drop my data. So I'm going to drag it and drop it here, and I click OK. So I now have my data on this canvas. Okay, so I'm going to start by the summarize tool, and what it does, or the transformation it brings onto our data. So I'm going to double click. So the summarize tool summarizes data by grouping, summing, counting, spatial processing, string concatenation, and much more. The output contains only the results of the calculation. So if I double click, it connects onto my store sales file. So they are now connected. On the window configuration here, on the left side of the screen, this window pops out with the field names displayed on the store cells with their respective data type. Okay, so in here I'm going to, or what the summarize tool does, it groups. So it uses this tool here, or this window configuration, to configure it, or to group it by either the store, year, and many other. So for this, or for the sake of this exercise, I'm going to group my data. I'm going to group it by the store number. So I'm going to click on that. I'll also group it by the weekly sales. I'm going to sum, sorry. So I'm going to sum using the weekly sales. Okay, now I want us to look at the use case or the use cases here. We might want to find the sum, we might want to find the average, and many others. That is what we call the use case. So in here, I'm going to select the weekly sales, then I do the sum or the summation. So the grouping, and I use the use case sum to bring us the summation of the weekly sales per store number and also per year. So I can also group it per year so that we can have, so I group it per year, so then I can bring it next to the store. Having done that, I now run. I click run or Ctrl R on my keyboard, then I give it time to load. So after running it, I now have on the results grid, I have the summation of the weekly sales for the respective years. For the store number 4, we have this figure here for the weekly sales. We have the year 2011 moving down. So that's how the summarize tool transforms our data, or how it brings transformation onto our data. Okay. Now, I now want us to look at another tool here. So the tool here is the crosstab tool. So the crosstab performs the following. So the pivot, I pivot the orientation of data in a table by moving vertical data onto horizontal axis and summarizing selected data. That's what the crosstab does in Alteryx. It basically moves vertical data onto horizontal axis. Okay. For example, here, my data here, as you can see, the month is aligned vertically on the vertical axis. So what the crosstab does, it moves this bifurcated data from the vertical axis to the horizontal. In other words, each month occupies each field here. So you can have the February, March, May horizontally occupying the respective fields. Okay, so let me bring it down here. Click on it, then I drop it here. I now connect the two. Okay, and I connect my cell store to the crosstab. On the window configuration, we have this setting here. So you can now configure by grouping. I want to group the data by these values. So I'm going to group my data by store and year. Okay. Then the change column headers. So the column headers, I'm going to have the month name, and then the values for the new columns are the weekly sales. Then I do the aggregate, the sum. I click on that, so that can bring the summation, or it sums the sales per store. I now run it. Okay, click the output. Good. As you can see now on my results grid, the months have been moved from the vertical to the horizontal axis, as you can see. So that's what the cross tab does. Okay. So my last tool here is the transpose. So what does it do? So the transpose tool, for the orientation of the data in a table by moving horizontal data onto a vertical. So it does the opposite. So it refers back to the previous process. So it moves what's in the horizontal to the vertical. So I can now, the key columns I'm going to pick is the store and here. Okay. Then I run it. As you can see, now the months have been moved. The months have been moved vertically this way. So that's how the transformation, or that's what the three tools does onto our data. Thank you for watching. See you again in my next video. Bye.